I'm in the grounds of the Kafka Museum in Prague, and I'm going to do this quickly, just in case somebody comes to move me away, maybe because of a rule that I don't know about. Like a waiter may just come out and inform me that this is not allowed, and if I was to ask him why, he wouldn't really know, and he'd say, well, it's just the rules, and a shrug, and I'd have to move on. And that'd be particularly frustrating because it's very purposeful what I'm trying to do here. And so to be frustrated by some silly little rule would be very Kafkaesque. So I better hurry up, because maybe the battery on my phone is going to die as well, and that would again be some sort of glitch that would frustrate me. And so here we are in Kafka's world, and let's just get straight on with it. In the previous section, we explored loss, love, and meaning with Tennyson, the great romantic poet. And here with Kafka, we're with a novelist of modernity. He was an urban man, and so instead of the cuckoo, we have just the clocks. Instead of the dial, there's the desk. Instead of the seasons, human life is dominated by timetables, quotas, and deadlines. Instead of pushing against the wind and the rain, his characters have to grapple with the blind forces of bureaucracy, meaningless procedures, and absurdly passive people. Instead of clouds overhead, there are impenetrable fogs of meaning and purpose. If Tennyson can help us find inner strength in our grief for the loss of the natural world, Kafka is going to help us put words on the dizzying frustrations of modern life. For all those moments when we're trying to do something meaningful for the climate crisis, and when we have to confront human banality, mindless officialdom, or crushing practical inconveniences, Franz Kafka was there with us. And as will become clear, lurking in the shadows of his alienated landscapes, there is a playfulness and a resilience that we can take heart from. Kafka lived his short life here in Prague. He lived under the shadow of his bulking, abusive father, Hermann. It was a life in which he had to put up with a stifling and boring office job, a life of frustrated love and lust, and in the end, a life cut short by tuberculosis. Fortunately for the world, Kafka articulated his anxiety and his sense of the absurd in incredible works of literature, and arguably he's the greatest writer of the 20th century. His novels conjure up compellingly surreal worlds within which the main characters find it oddly impossible to get a grip of what's going on. I'm going to have to be a bit faster now because it started to rain, and I just want to, before leaving here, just wanted to pick out one detail from his novella Metamorphosis. And this detail happens partway through the book, where he hears his sister Greta playing the violin, and he's a bug, remember, and he edges closer to listen to her play, because he really wanted, before he woke up as a bug, he really wanted to help Greta get to music school. He wanted to fund her and support her. But of course, now he's some bug, he can't do any of that. But he hears a play, he moves closer to listen to her, and he finds that he is so struck by the beauty of the music. And he asked himself the question, well, how is this possible? Is it really possible to feel that much when you're an insect? And in this way, in this short detail of the book, you can see that when we're put under a lot of pressure, when we are confronted by these kind of crushing circumstances, that's actually when we feel and have a sharpened capacity for creativity and a sharpened capacity to feel life. And it's just a little moment in the book, but I think it's a telling moment about the value of Kafka's work, because the Climate Academy, of course, we by reading all those previous chapters, you get to the point now where you think, well, what can I do with this? I mean, these complex systems is like bewildering, overwhelming circumstances in which I find myself. What can I do? And it is precisely in such circumstances that we ask the fundamental questions, or we're willing to engage with the fundamental questions, and perhaps we're more sensitive to art. And in a way, that's what human life in the end is about. It's about finding meaning in things, and sometimes it's good to be confronted by stuff. It's good to be to ask yourself the bigger questions. And so I just wanted to pick up on that detail from Metamorphosis, because Kafka's life is so, in a sense, tragic. But that never stops him from doing great art. In fact, it's the thing that drives him to do great art. It's the same with his tuberculosis. When he discovered that he was going to die of tuberculosis, this became a tool, a sharp tool that he would lean on to produce these incredible artworks. So the rain's really going now, so I'm going to stop.